Hi, and welcome to video 5. We're going to talk about how to set up an ad and then of course how to test that ad. To get to this page, you'll need to scroll down to the bottom of whatever Facebook account you're using. Just keep in mind that whatever Facebook account you're using, you want to stick with that account. If you click on advertising down here, you'll find a page that says create an ad. Click on that green button and you'll be forwarded to this page. Fortunately, since we've done all the research we can on demographics and we've created an ad beforehand, all you have to do is take this information and plug it in. Okay, so when you design your ad up here, you can get some information on their FAQ if you want to, but you can either copy an existing ad here and then you can enter the destination URL. Say you want to advertise something that you already have on Facebook. If you want to do that and you click that, remember I had that ultimate frisbee training that I created. If I want to do that, I can just have that as the Facebook page. But keep in mind that if you do that, it'll automatically choose this title here. Now let's say that I do want that. And the body text I'm going to enter as learn how to improve. Actually, yeah. Facebook will get on to me if I do that. Learn how to improve your ultimate frisbee throwing skills in less than 30 days. Click here, find out. Click here to watch some free videos. So that could be like my call to action there. And I'm telling people that there are free videos there because I want to get them there. I want to build some trust so then I can sell to them later on. Now with an image, if you choose the file here and then you choose the file, the image will show up here. It's very self-explanatory, very easy to apply. Alright, so targeting, now remember we figured out with Google Trends that Maine, United States, Oregon, Wisconsin, and so forth are the top places for ultimate frisbee, and those are places that people are typing in. Find it. So by city, state, Maine, Oregon. Now you don't have to do it to specific states and cities if you don't want to. The reason why I do this is because Google Trends tells me that because there's a high amount of people that are typing in this area, my conversion rates may then increase if I focus on that. But another thing you can do is if you don't want to do location and you just want to start with interest first, just to see how many people are out there with ultimate frisbee as an interest, you can do that as well. So let's say I took the approach of ultimate frisbee, and you can see here that when I type that in, there are several keywords that appear here. So I'm going to choose that, suggested likes and interests. And then remember we did some research on age, about 13 to 34. Let's say I'm not really targeting people 13. I want to target people who actually are interested in purchasing my product. So maybe I'll do 18 to any age. If you do only men, you can, as you can see here, as you change it, Facebook will basically search and see how many, men, how many women, or estimated reach that you have. But in this case, since even though it was about a large amount were men, since there were still also females, I'm going to include all here. So as you can see, I will be targeting about 237,360 people who live in the United States, who are at least 18 or older, and who like ultimate frisbee. So like I said, you can, if you want to target location, you can if you want. Sometimes it really depends on your market. If your market is like very, very general, then you can go down in specific locations if you want. So, for example, if I do say Maine by city, say I do Maine only, and we can wait and see what comes up. And with connections on Facebook, this allows you to target users who are connected to a specific group So if we type in Frisbee, that'll show your pages. And then you can have advanced targeting demographics if you want. If you want to target specific people who speak specific languages, either they're single, in a relationship, engaged, or married, you can do that too. And it looks like, yeah, Facebook has changed up their things about, you can't really target race, religion, and things like that. But for the most part, it is still quite targeted. But as you can see, about 1,160 people in Maine are interested in Ultimate Frisbee. So I think because of the statistics, I'm just going to keep it general as United States. If you want to expand it to something like Canada, because we noticed that Canada had a large amount of people, and you're doing something like an online business, and you're not really catering to a specific location, then you can do Canada and United States or any other countries that you want to. But as you can see, even though I added Canada, it's only like 37,000 that were added to this. So it's not a whole lot, but I'm just going to keep it like that. And then after that, you need to choose education, work, all. We're just going to do all. And campaign, pricing, and scheduling. You want to name your campaign just so that you know when you go back what it's going to be. Your daily budget can be anywhere from $20, $50, or even more. Just the minimum needs to be about $1. I would say for testing purposes, I would start the daily budget anywhere from $25 to $50, and that way you can test it out and not lose too much money. And then if it's working, you can still tweak your ad a little bit here and there and do some split testing, things like that. If it is working, then you can increase the budget and do well with that. And then it asks you scheduling when you want to start running your ad. You can either run your ad today or specified dates. So let's say, for example, that you wanted your campaign only to run from September 2nd, which is today, to September till next week. So about 8 days or 7 days. You could do that too. So that way you don't have to worry about it running forever. If you had a time limit, then you can run that based on that. Once you're done with that, then what Facebook is going to do is it'll prove your ad and you'll start seeing traffic. Another thing I want to mention is bids. There's two types of bids. It's CPC versus CPM. CPC means your cost per click, which is you're going to pay every time somebody clicks on your ad. Now, keep in mind, it's sort of like Google AdWords where you pay per click. And then with Facebook ads, they also offer you pay for impressions, CPM. So you're paying for 1,000. Now, I would not go this route just yet. What I found that works, if I do pay per click, and even though it suggests 80 cents each, I would do about half of that. So I'd do about maybe 40 cents to 45 cents starting rate. Now, what I found that works as a trick is that if CPC works, let's say for every 1,000 clicks or every 1,000 impressions, you get about 20 clicks. So you're paying about 20 times 45 cents. What I found was that if that works, then you can make another thing and switch over to CPM and do like a image ad or things like that. Because if you know it converts and you're not targeting super targeted like this campaign here, you can then go to Google AdWords and so forth and just do the same thing because you've already had your test running up and it's running successful. Now keep in mind though that Facebook is changing their guidelines. I believe I heard that they are changing it, whereas they're trying to get rid of their CPM advertisers. That's what I heard, but maybe it's not true or not. But just test it out. You know, CPC works. Create an impressions campaign and see how that works. And just test it out and see which one works the best. But like I said earlier, CPC is good as well. The thing to keep in mind is try to get as targeted as possible. The more targeted you are, the better it is, the higher conversions it is, and the less you pay in the long run.